Welcome to Run SDJ, I'm Steve, and today I want to talk about running earphones and specifically the Shokz Openfit, which I've had for just over a month and have been putting them through their paces during runs and also in general everyday use. Now, I am a big fan of running with music, audiobooks and podcasts. And over the past 5 years, I've had a few different pairs of running earphones, including PowerBeats Pro and FitPro, both from Beats, as well as most recently, the Earphones, now known as Openrun bone conducting headphones from Shokz, formerly known as Aftershokz. I will be referencing all of these earphones as well as the Openrun Pro, which my wife has, as we go through the review for some comparisons. But first, a little bit more about the Shokz Openfit. The Openfit are the first earphones from Shokz that use true wireless technology. That essentially means there is no wired connection between the two earbuds. They are also the first earphones from Shokz that move away from the bone conducting technology for which the brand is best known. The Openfit opt for a different technology, commonly known as open ear, and what Shokz refer to as direct pitch, but more on that in a bit. They come in two colours, black, which I have, and beige, and they cost £179 and dollars or 199 euros. I got my pair for £152 in an Amazon sale, so it's worth keeping an eye out for discounts. Like a lot of wireless earphones on the market today, the Openfit come in a charging case which is charged via USB-C. You get a cable but no charger, as is the case with most wearables these days. This is a move away from the proprietary charge cable that connects to the earphones directly, as is the case with most other earphones from Shokz. In terms of battery life, Shokz claim up to 28 hours total listening time with a fully charged charging case and buds, and up to 7 hours listening time from a single fully charged bud. Compared to other Shokz products, the Openrun have an 8-hour battery life and the Openrun Pro have a 10-hour battery life from new. This is pretty competitive with other popular charge case earbuds on the market, such as the second generation AirPods Pro, which have a battery life of about 6 hours in the buds themselves and between 24 and 30 hours including the charge case. The Openfit have fast charging, which means you have a 5-minute charge, giving you about an hour of listening time if you find yourself in a bit of a pinch. The Openfit have an IP rating of IP54, the same as the AirPods Pro. This means they should be reasonably well protected against sweat and moisture in active workouts, such as running and in the gym. However, they are more water resistant than waterproof, so you probably want to avoid submerging them in water. This compares to a higher rating of IP67 for the Openrun and IP55 for the Openrun Pro. Both earbuds weigh just 17 grams. This compares to 26 grams for the Shokz Openrun and 28 grams for the Openrun Pro. The charging case weighs 59 grams, totaling 76 grams. Compared to AirPods Pro, they weigh in at about 12 grams for both earbuds, and that charging case is about 51 grams. So why did I opt for the Shokz Openfit? I had been using the bone conducting Openrun for about 2.5 years, and to be honest, I've absolutely loved them. They initially took a bit of getting used to, but once I was used to them, they came with me everywhere, so much so that the battery life is only about half of what they were when new. Despite already having the Openfit for about a week, and knowing that the battery life on my Openrun bone conductors was on the decline, I opted to still wear the Openrun for the Paris Marathon. This was down to how familiar I was with them, and they are more generally accepted as being acceptable for road races, but unfortunately they didn't last for the full duration, stopping working at about the 3-hour point. At the National Running Show back in January, I had sampled a pair of Openfit on the Shokz stand, and I was really impressed by the quality of the sound and the comfort of the fit. I have always regretted getting rid of my PowerBeats Pro. They were the best running headphones I've ever had, and I particularly enjoyed the ear hook design. Because of the shape of my ears, things like AirPods are just not an option as they fall out of my ears in regular everyday use, never mind during runs. But the PowerBeats were a bit chunky and the charging case was massive. They also lacked any sort of transparency mode, so hearing your surroundings was a bit of an issue. I moved on to the FitPro, also from Beats, hoping they would give me all the benefits of the PowerBeat, but in a smaller package. They also had more modern features such as spatial audio and transparency mode, but I didn't get on well with the wingtip design and the transparency mode was really not suited for running. It more amplified wind noise, which sounded like distorted white noise, than giving you a clearer sound of your surroundings, so I chose not to use it. It was also during this time that I developed a sensitivity to in-ear earbud tips in my ear canals, hence the move to bone conducting earphones to keep my ears clear of obstructions and anything else likely to cause irritation. I grew to really like bone conducting earphones, and they certainly were the safest option when running in built up areas or in areas where you generally need to be a bit more aware of your surroundings. But with this comes a bit of a trade-off in quality of sound, though this has improved massively since the early generations of bone conducting technology. So when I was looking for a replacement, I was hoping the Openfit would be a hybrid of sorts between the PowerBeats and the OpenRun. So what do I like about the Openfit after about 5 weeks use? The Openfit are super light and they are very comfortable to wear at only 8.5 grams each side, and with no tips in contact with the ear canal, you barely know you're wearing them. They are reasonably easy to put on, and with their ear hook design, I just have to get my hair out of the way of my ears, and like the PowerBeats, they are very secure when worn, and I've had no fears of them falling out. The direct pitch open ear technology is incredible, and it does make these the hybrid I was looking for between the PowerBeats Pro and the OpenRun. The quality of sound is streets ahead of the bone conductors, with a good level of bass, mid and treble, which are all user adjustable in the Shokz app. My OpenRun had no app compatibility, so you were stuck with the sound profile you were given from the factory, though it is worth saying that the OpenRun Pro do have some app functionality, but more on the app shortly. One of the reasons I didn't just opt for a new pair of bone conductors was that when listening to audiobooks and podcasts, often I struggle to hear them above the surrounding noise such as traffic. In that regard, the Openfit are amazing. They direct the sound into your ears via a small dynamic driver without obstructing the ear canal. The levels of bass you get is far more comparable to a regular set of in-ear earphones than anything with bone conducting technology, and Shokz have what they call an open bass algorithm to accomplish this, and I've been very impressed with it so far. You are able to get what feels like a purer, cleaner, and more direct sound, and have been much better for spoken word listening, all while still being able to hear your surroundings due to your ears remaining unobstructed. In terms of portability, they also have advantages over the bone conductors, being able to easily fit into your pocket in the charge case. This was a major disadvantage of both the OpenRun and the OpenRun Pro, both coming in large cases which aren't really pocketable. I also like that there is an app, so you are able to tweak the EQ of the sound, as I've previously mentioned. You're also able to see how much battery life you have left in both the buds and the charge case. You can also customize the controls, choosing what happens when you double tap each earbud touchpad, as well as pressing and holding the pad. When these were originally released in 2023, you didn't have as much control over the functions and you weren't able to adjust the volume via the earbuds, so it's good that Shokz have addressed this with firmware updates. On the double tap functions, you can have both ears set to play pause, or you can amend the right bud to either play the next track, previous track, or activate the voice assistant. On the press and hold functions, you can have them set to left side previous track, right side next track, left side decrease volume, right side increase volume, or both ears setting up the voice assistant. I have mine set to double tap left play pause and for the right next track, and press and hold increases and decreases the volume. So what don't I like? There isn't much I don't like, in all honesty, but I am not a massive fan of the touchpads which control the functions of the earbuds. I far prefer the traditional buttons and volume rockers that are on the Openruns and the PowerBeats. You knew for sure where they were and you didn't have to really think about it too much. With the touchpads, there is no click or movement to let you know that you've definitely made a positive connection, and even when you have, sometimes you don't get the desired or any response, especially when wearing gloves or if your hair has gone over the buds. I would also like a bit more customization in terms of mapping the buttons, perhaps a single tap or a triple tap option for more functionality. There have been a few occasions where I would like to start a track again or revert back to a previous track, but the way I have it set up, I can't do this without sacrificing other functionality, which I definitely use more frequently. The final thing that is a minor disadvantage, not for me, but for others in quite close quarters, is that at higher volumes, there is a bit of sound bleed. This isn't an issue when using them for my primary purpose of running, but when I was using them on public transport, it was definitely something to be conscious of. But so far, I've not needed to push the volume that high in those scenarios for it to be a real issue. The other thing to say is that these are currently not race approved by British Athletics, despite being open ear. That benefit is still only on bone conducting technology earphones. In my opinion, having worn both, I would say that you are still very aware of your surroundings in the open fits with the ear canal being unobstructed. It might just be a matter of time before this technology becomes approved like bone conducting is, but as of spring 2024, this isn't the case. It's always worth checking an event's safety rules to see what types of earphones are allowed. So to finish, so far I'm really happy with the Openfit. They've become my default earphone for both active and casual use, and I pretty much take them everywhere with me. The minor frustrations I have with them are by no means a deal breaker, and I'm sure as I use them more and more, I will get used to the touchpads. I'm looking forward to using them in my training block for the Chicago Marathon and the race itself, where I have checked and the rules say they are allowed. So I'm interested in hearing from you. What are your running headphones of choice, and have you tried this newer open ear technology, either from Shokz or in some of the other brands? I'd be interested in hearing your thoughts, so let me know down in the comments. And if you've enjoyed this video, please give it a like. And if you aren't subscribed, please think about subscribing to my channel for more running content. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. See ya.